Hello friends! Welcome back! I had explained to you guys the struggles I've had kind of with metabolic adaptation and my metabolism slowing down so much since my first bikini competition season in 2018, and how I decided to switch coaches and really concentrate on a bulking season and increasing my calories and trying to get it to a point to where I could have a very successful cut in 2020 and compete in a few shows. And guys, I had such lofty goals and expectations for 2020. I started my podcast in January and have posted that every Monday, and I've kept up with that, which is just a miracle in and of itself. But I was really excited for 2020. I just felt like I was starting out with a bang. I got my apartment super clean before I had my surgery. I was gonna have like this extended period of time where I was recovering and Todd was gonna take care of me, and I was just gonna rest because I'd been really stressed out at work and I just felt like I needed this break. I had things financially planned out for 2020. I knew how I was gonna pay for my surgery. I had planned on being able to get a car and I'd budgeted for that. I was also just super excited about the plan that I had set out with my coaches for 2020. We had the whole year planned out and I was going to compete in several shows, and then we were going to reverse me out of that so that I could maintain a leaner physique without so much struggle. But long story short, or long story less long than it could be, I was really excited for 2020 because 2019, it had its ups, but man, it had some really big struggles, and I was ready for a new start. I wanted to start making strides in the directions I wanted to go in, and I wanted to see some really big changes. Well, that recovery that I was talking about, where I was just super excited to just like lay in bed and have no stress and recover and just rejuvenate myself as my breasts settled into their new home. 3 days into this, Snuka, my little sweet tiny dachshund with her crazy mad scientist hair, went paralyzed. Intravertebral disc disease is something that dachshunds are kind of prone to. Pupcake has it. But when she's had flare-ups with it, it's not been that severe. She goes on anti-inflammatories and steroids and pain medication, and she has to be crated for 2 weeks, and that's happened I think 3 times with her, and it's something we keep an eye on. Snuka had never had problems in her life, and within a span of a couple of hours she went from running around and being her normal self to dragging her back legs around, and she was completely paralyzed. And Todd thankfully was with me because he was taking care of me, and he rushed us to the emergency vet, and initially they wanted us to try to just do the treatment that we had done with Pupcake, the crating her, the giving her the meds. They said the next 36 hours were really imperative because if she lost all deep pain in her back legs, then she would need to have emergency surgery. And with less than 24 hours, it was just getting worse, so we had to bring her in. And because I was familiar with this condition, I just kept saying, worst case scenario, I'll have a little wheelchair pup, and I can deal with that. I can deal with having little Snuka with a wheelchair. That's fine with me. I just don't want to lose her. But it was worse than that because there is apparently a condition called myelomalacia that is a necrosis of the spine, and if that starts, then eventually it will get to their lungs will shut down, and you have to put them down so that they don't suffer. I had no idea that this was even a possibility with this disease, and because of some of her symptoms, they said that it was likely that this is what she had. And they also said that the surgery could be up to $10,000, and the surgery was the only way that she would have a chance to walk again. And they also told us that even with the surgery, she would only have a 5 to 50% chance of walking again, that it was really unlikely. So here we were faced with, do we go ahead and do this surgery knowing that in 3 to 5 days we may have to put her down anyway? But I just love this little dog so much. Like, I love my pets. If you guys pay attention to me at all on this channel or on my social media, you know that I love animals, and my sweet little pups have gotten me through the last couple of years, and I just love them dearly. And Snuka is such a special little baby, and she's only 4.5, so it was like, Todd encouraged me to just do it, and so we just did it. They did the surgery. The surgery went really well, but there was still that chance of the myomalacia happening, and I was so stressed. I did not sleep, I did not rest, even drugged up, I could not sleep or rest. But now to, the positive side of this. The day after her surgery, we went in to go visit her, and she's all drugged up. Her little back is all shaved, it was pitiful, but her tail wagged. I didn't see it, Todd saw it, and the vet tech saw it, and she's like, oh, that's really good, I'll write that down, like that's a really big thing. Then the next day, the doctor calls us and tells us she's doing really well. Just each day she's doing better and better. Long story short, there was no myomalacia. 5 days later, we were in the clear. She was moving her feet. She was trying to stand up. She's been going to physical therapy and doing the water treadmill, and she's walking on her own. Her crate rest is done. She's a little wobbly. She looks a little goofy, but she is defying the odds, and it is amazing. But this ish is expansive. The surgery and the stay in the emergency pet hospital was $8,500. The physical therapy, if I drop her off in the morning and come and get her in the evening, it's $110. If we go with her and are just there for the session and then take her home, it's $85. For 3 weeks, we were doing that twice a week. Now we're down to once a week. But obviously, I've not gotten a car because essentially Snuka's surgery was the price of the car. Like, I am considering her my car, and I can't really ride Snuka anywhere, so luckily Todd is very generous with his vehicle and lets me use it and takes me places, and I live right by work, and so I can walk if I need to, and that's easy. But it threw my plans off. On top of this, I was getting more and more stressed out at work. And let me preface this by saying I love the people I work with. My job has been a huge blessing and was perfect for what I needed to get back into working full time, because it was an industry I knew, it was in a gym, I got a free gym membership, it's just been perfect. But I'm a firm believer that when it's time to go, you know. And I got my personal training certification over a year ago, and that was one of the reasons I got a job at Lifetime, because I wanted to transition into personal training. But the more I got promoted at the Life Spa, the less inclined I was to switch to personal training, because my hourly rate to start out with before I got commission it's so low. Basically, it'll be cutting my income in half. That's scary, especially with everything that was happening with Snuka. But I had a long talk with my boss, who's extremely encouraging, and I talked to Todd about it a lot, and I need to make the transition. I need to switch. So I'm making the transition into doing personal training full time. So not only do I have this surgery and physical therapy that I'm having to pay off for Snuka, I have no car. I wouldn't have gotten these puppies had I known that that puppy was gonna have a back surgery. So things have not gone exactly as I planned in 2020 so far. So yes, some financial challenges have arisen. Because of this, I had to make the decision to stop paying for coaching. I just don't have the money, and it's not smart for me right now just to keep continuously going in debt for coaching, but I'm gonna have to be going it on my own, and definitely not gonna be competing in July. There is no way. I'm gonna have to postpone it to the fall. So I'm in this weird limbo stage where I still want to compete in the fall. I don't know if I'm gonna have coaches, and I have to decide, am I gonna do it on my own? Am I gonna see if I can do this on my own? And the answer is yes, I'm gonna see if I can do this on my own. I am doing all kinds of research on metabolic adaptation, on bikini competition prepping. I'm just trying to soak up as much knowledge as I can. So y'all, this is a whole new chapter in my life. I am starting my new job as a personal trainer tomorrow, which is March 16th. I have 30-ish weeks until the competition that I want to do in the fall, and I'm gonna have you guys follow me, just like in the beginning. We are taking it back, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle short, old school style. I'm excited. So guys, here is a reminder that things are not always going to pan out the way you want or the way that you plan, and things actually rarely do. There's always going to be wrenches thrown in the cogs, and you have to adjust. And if your goals are something that you really want to achieve, you will find ways to still do it. And I'm really excited to see what I can do on my own with the knowledge that I have, and I'm excited for this new phase in my life. I'm excited to log my journey again like I did before. It was really fun, and I feel like a lot of people have probably met their weight loss goals and then gained weight back because metabolic adaptation is such a huge thing that so many people suffer from and deal with and don't know how to get out of, and then weight loss feels so daunting. So I'm hoping that being able to show people that you can gain weight back and still understand that you're a disciplined person and still have a plan that you can follow, and you can get out of that metabolic adaptation and you can manipulate your metabolism in order to stay a weight that you want to be without it being so difficult. It can be more sustainable. It may take more patience. It may take a little bit more work and understanding that you may have to gain some weight. Like, I'm bigger right now than I thought that I would ever be again. But when I went back and watched my old YouTube videos and old weigh-ins, I was so excited to weigh what I weigh right now. And obviously there's going to be some differences in my physique as I weigh and measure this time. I'm hoping that I'm going to have more muscle mass, and I mean, obviously having these puppies is going to make a difference. And I mean, I don't know how to silicone register in a body fat scanner. Does it register as body fat or does it register as water weight? I'm real curious. Science. Because like, I'm totes on board for this causing my body fat percentage to go up. That's fine. That's fine. If they had been real fat, then I wouldn't have had to have the surgery. But you know, that's neither here nor there. My point is, I'm excited. I'm excited to see the difference after everything I've gone through over the last 2 years and me trying to put on this muscle and approaching it differently. I was so excited to be this size before, and now this is like the top of my weight. It's the heaviest I've been in 2 years, and that's pretty dope. Like, when I really think about that, I'm like, man, I was trying so hard to get down to this weight before and I just couldn't get there. So I'm interested to compare a lot of that stuff. I hope that this can encourage you that even when wrenches get thrown in the cogs and you have plans and they don't pan out the way you want them to, that you can still get really excited about the future and plan, and you can still meet your goals. You can still defy the odds, like Snuka has defied the odds. 5 to 50% chance of walking again, and it's not even 3 months later, and she's already walking and running and doing amazing things. And if my tiny little dollop of a dachshund can defy the odds, you can too, and I can. I may not have a car, and I may not have the money for coaches, but that doesn't mean that I can't succeed. Am I nervous? Yes. Am I afraid of failure? Of course. But if something doesn't make you nervous, if something doesn't make you scared, then why is it worth doing? Like, if you have that kind of a visceral reaction to something, then it's probably something you should be doing. If it's something you don't care about, then why waste your time doing it? And I'm so excited to challenge myself. I'm very, very passionate about creating this community of people who support each other and who understand the struggles and the expectations that are put on us in society to be a certain way and look a certain way. And I feel like there's so much power in numbers, and if we can all just band together, we can defy all of the odds and break down barriers. And I'm so excited to see the things that happen over the next year. Things may not have gone as I planned so far in 2020, but I still got lofty goals, y'all, and I plan on achieving them. All right, friends, I feel as if I have babbled enough for one episode. I hope I get you caught up on my life and everything that has happened. I'm really excited for the future. I'm really excited to tackle this next phase of my journey, and initial weigh-in is tomorrow, so make sure that you like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you can see when that initial weigh-in I serve to you.
Weighment. A result, usually expressed in numbers, obtained by weighing and measuring one's physical form.
As I used to call it, drops. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye, friends.
I'm doing just fine. I'm my silly self. I'm my silly self. Yeah.